Good morning and welcome to a very, very, very early morning, impromptu, spontaneous live stream that I'm deciding to do. Why? Because basically I promised you guys that I would try and do a live stream every single day up until next week Friday. Well, after last night, consuming a few vodka shots. I think I had 4 or 5 in total, I can't remember now. And eating half a birthday cake, basically. I was a bit worse for wear last night. I am not going to lie, I felt like fucking crap. Excuse my language, that's the first time I think I've sworn on this stream. But I felt absolutely awful. Last night this is. And then in England, so for anybody that's in the UK right now, we're going through some exceedingly hot weather. And I'm based in London, and last night at approximately 11, 12 o'clock at night, there was a thunderstorm. I cannot stand thunderstorms, and I just couldn't sleep. And then eventually when I did go to sleep, I then was woken up by my alarm, because my alarm is already set at 3 a.m. to go off. And I just woke up and I was just like, I may as well just wake up. And yeah, I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning. I rewatched the majority of last night's stream, which was absolutely phenomenal. The stream last night, of course, was dedicated to the fact that we hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. Absolutely amazing. We thank everybody that joined us last night to celebrate the fact we got to this milestone. We're continuing growing. Since last night we've added a further 14, I think, subscribers since last night. And yeah, this channel's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've got basically an hour and a half spare to waste, and I can't be bothered to do a stream tonight. So I'd rather just do it now. And I saw that Aussie Boy was in the Discord asking if I was going live. So obviously people in Australia, you're 9 hours ahead. So it's about 5, depending on where you are in Australia obviously. It's about 4, 5, 6 o'clock over there. So I thought, you know what, let's see if we can get some of the guys from Australia live on air. But what's this team up on screen, you say? Well, obviously it's mine, and just a few thought processes really from taken away from the last couple of streams that I've been doing. And I just look at the quote unquote FPL community team, template team. I don't really like it. I don't like the strike force of Jota and King, or Wilson and Jota, or King and Wilson, whatever combination you want to do. I don't like it. And I can't remember who it was last night or the day before, but it's all a blur, to be honest with you. But someone come up with a team where basically their whole team revolved around key players to, well, basically their teams. And I'm thinking, maybe I could go with a slightly different strategy. Again, I will tell you now that I am probably going to end up doing the old FPL community template team, if I'm honest, because the majority of the players I kind of wanted anyway. But this up here, barring the De Bruyne Abraham situation, and based on, again, this is what I love about the Discord community, is that people give you insight into teams you don't really focus on. I'm not suggesting people don't focus on Chelsea, but people that have a better, more insight into teams like Chelsea, etc. They tell you that, for example, looks like Abraham could be the main man. Scored against Barcelona yesterday. Heard a couple of people yesterday mention that he missed a sitter as well. If Abraham gets, like he did at Bristol City, the support that he will at Chelsea, then Abraham could be an absolute bargain at 7 million for basically a top 4 chasing team, if not a team that's going to end up in the top 4. And if he's going to be their main man, then maybe he could be the one to go for. So yeah, I mean, of these two here, like I said, De Bruyne and Abraham, they're a bit risky, but something Jason said yesterday about Harry Kane, having him in the team, couldn't agree more. If I'm honest with you, I'd rather have Salah, Fraser and Sterling, if I'm really truthfully honest with you, but it means that I'm going to have 3 premium players in my team, and as a lot of people keep saying, and it's a really interesting thought process, that they don't want to have a captaincy headache. So really, for me, actually, if I was to stick with this team, so to speak, my only captaincy headache would be between Kane and Salah. But you do want to be having a minimum of 2 premium players in your team. You've got to. But yeah, like I said, I've just seen some teams doing the rounds for our Discord, and especially when we do the live streams and everything. I just look at them, I just think, they're really, really inspiring. I really, really like them. Who knows? So, as ever, welcome to the stream. Let's see if anybody is in there right now. Probably not, but blimey, you guys are active. My goodness. Good morning, everybody that's joining me live right now in the most impromptu stream that I could ever imagine. I did tease it a bit on Twitter and Discord, but I think people thought that was the setup from last night, and the simple answer is no, it's not. I put everything away. So, I mean, Cameron Rawcliffe, welcome to the stream, and mentioned the fact that he could barely sleep, and it was absolutely, yeah, I mean, it's atrocious. I mean, I got a fan in my room, and Jason basically bans me from using it on on the streams, and because basically for his headphones and everything. But my God, I was absolutely sweating like mad last night, and then when I was going to sleep and everything, it was just ludicrous, utterly ludicrous. But we're not here to talk about the issues of the heat wave in the UK. We're here to talk all things fantasy football. And let's just say hello to a few people. So we got the regular, like I said, Cameron Rawcliffe, aka the FPL Kid here. FPL Pitch, welcome. Obviously you were here last night. FPL Manager, welcome to the stream. Mark Antigua, it's 3 a.m. in the Caribbean. What are you doing up at this time of the morning for? I know you're a regular listener. Welcome, Mark. I don't even know if you get the opportunity to watch us live, Mark. Let me know in the chat if you are able to watch us live. I know you watch us on the replay. Gotam, welcome. Such a marathon man you are, Steve. Like I said, I'm only doing this because I can't be bothered to do it later on, if I'm truthfully honest with you. I just have some time to waste. It's like Jason said yesterday. We openly admit it, you know. But it's not from a selfish point of view. This isn't for my benefit. This is for your benefit. I know you guys all want to talk fantasy football. By the way, if anybody does want to come on the Discord and come live on air, by all means, Brett Mollison's here. Welcome. I did mention you last night. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I did mention you last night regarding the live stream. Regarding being here since the beginning, Brett. So I just want to take this opportunity now to say it again, that thank you for your everlasting support that you've shown since basically game week 4 last season. It's been absolutely incredible. Aussie Boy FPL, I did see your message earlier on if I'm streaming or not. I say earlier on, you put it up a minute ago, but yep, I am obviously now here. But yeah, thank you, Brett. 1,000 subscribers. Could you imagine that we were going to get that back then when you first started joining in, when we were like at about 3 viewers? Do you know what I mean? It was absolutely crazy that when you joined in, we basically had nobody. And you know what? I'm going to get him on straight away because I can't be bothered to speak. So, Aussie Boy, I'm going to get you live on air in a few seconds now, so get ready, get prepared. You're going to come live on the show. And Aussie Boy, need to grab you first. And of course, this isn't working. It's brilliant, isn't it? See what happens when everything messes up. What's going on here? Everything decides to crash the second I want to do something. Is absolutely typical, isn't it? Right, let's try it again. Aussie Boy, we'll bring you live on air now. When I say technical issues, it's something that is happening like that. So we'll just leave that for a second there. People may have noticed the thumbnail / the title, and for anybody that is a follower of, if anybody's a follower of FPL Partridge on Twitter,
Steve-O?
I can hear you, Aussie boy, but I don't know if you're live because everything seems to have messed up at the moment. So if you just hold on for a second, I'm going to try and oh yeah, there you are.
Hello.
You are here. I can hear you, Aussie boy. Are you there? Okay, if we keep you muted for a second, that's cool. But everything seems to... I can't seem to do anything with my computer. This is brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Let's just quickly get in the live chat for a second, because this is driving me up the wall. I can't even access that. This is fantastic, isn't it? So this could go on for 24 hours, everybody. Unless I... there we are. Right. Thank you. Quickly close that down. Sorry, no one has a clue what I'm doing here at the moment. So basically what I'm doing is I'm opening up the chat to see what's going on here. Trying to close the Discord down. But everything's deciding right now, right this second, to crash on me. It's actually really getting frustrating. It's really, really annoying me. Right, let's start again, shall we? So.
Hello?
Yep, hello Aussie boy. You are live on air. Can you hear me? Brilliant. I'm deliberately putting the fan down because I just think that the computer's just completely overheating at the moment, and this is just absolutely ludicrous. Right. Let's close all this down. Sorry about this, everybody. When you just want to do an impromptu live stream, everything goes messed up.
Hello?
It's absolutely typical. Yeah, hello Aussie boy. If you can hear me, just stay muted for a second. Oh, you can hear me now, can you?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Hello.
Right. Because I haven't got nothing on my screen whatsoever. Jason, you're going to get annoyed, but to be honest with you, what I'll do is I'll just put the microphone the other side so it doesn't actually have an effect.
Yeah, I can hear you now. So.
God's sake, man. Sorry about this, everybody. This is absolutely ludicrous. I'm fully aware of that. Let's just quickly move that over here. Move that there. Right, done. Jason, you're going to get really annoyed, but I don't care. You're not here, so I'm just going to carry on doing what I'm going to do. Right, I can stay there. Cool the heater down.
Hello.
Let's get these headphones in.
Oh. Obviously, no headphones.
Aussie, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Right, I don't know how you're there because my Discord isn't even up, so welcome to the stream. How are you?
Yes.
What's the time over there?
Good. It's 5:20 right now.
In the evening. Brilliant. So,
Yeah.
what do you want to talk about?
Well, so, I've made quite a few changes to my team, and I think, I just keep trying to tinker, and I just come back to it over and over again, so... If you, I put in the rate my team, so if you want to pull it up, I can go through it.
I would pull it up, but it's just not up. The Discord just isn't uploading on my computer at the moment, and I'm getting really frustrated.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, please. If you'd just like to tell us what it is.
So in goal I have Nick Pope. Then Azpilicueta, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Laporte, Digne as my backman. Then I have Salah, De Bruyne, Fraser, Perez, Vardy and Wilson up front. And then I have just a cheap bench like Woodman, Kelly, Dendonka, Greenwood.
Right, yeah. Here we are. I've got it up on my phone at least. At least my phone's working, everybody. This is what I hate about live. So you are going with, like I've got on screen at the moment, De Bruyne. You're not worried about not owning Sterling?
Well, I feel like when I looked at the past stats, he had like 200 points in his last full season. So I feel like if he can get up to 200 points again, I'll be completely happy with him. Because Sterling, what did he get up to 230? And I think that cash is really useful because I feel like my team now, the cash is very well spread out. and so that's what I like about the team at the moment. And I feel like, but it does worry me, as you said before, not having the 2 premiums, like full out premium. Like I don't have Kane or anyone, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking at the moment. I like try to fit Kane in or Sterling, and then just go back eventually to to this team. I can't get away from it. So.
Does that not tell you something, that you feel that if this is the team that
yeah
because
it does. That's why I'm probably gonna go with this team game week 1. I imagine.
I personally look at that and I think it's fantastic. I mean, something that's that I brought up earlier on, which was about the fact that a lot of the players that you've picked there are all key to their teams. Like they're not rotation risks unless they get injured.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, it's like I had Zinchenko in, and I was like, am I really confident he's gonna definitely play? I just thought to myself, no, I'm not. So yeah, I didn't do it in the end. But I had gone safe with Laporte. He's nailed, and my whole team is nailed. I think maybe bar Perez possibly, but I don't really think so. I think he's Rodgers seems to really like him. I think it's all good.
If you were to try and get Sterling in the team, who would you downgrade?
That's a tough thing. Well, I feel like I've had more attempts at trying to get Kane in. But the thing is I'm gonna have to get rid of both Vardy and Wilson, and I feel like I need to have both of them. At least one of them, because what happens is I go down to a 6.5, and it's a problem. And congrats on 1K, by the way. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I was going to ask, when I know you are a brand new kind of listener to the stream and everything, but just remind everybody who doesn't know who you are or whatever. When did you actually start watching the stream?
I think it was as soon as it was released, the new season. I was bored, so I was just looking for different streamers. Just looked up like drafts and stuff. And I love the long streams, so I don't really want little videos to watch. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna look for some long streams. So I found yours. I really enjoyed it. I've subscribed straight away, and it's good.
Cool. So what I'm going to deliberately do, if you don't mind, is do you want to be a guest host for this specific stream?
Yeah, sure. That'd be great.
Fantastic. So you're going to have to be on your game now, because we're going to get some questions on the roll here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the chat. So FPL Aussie Boy is joining me as a guest host. Can only thank him for doing so, taking his time out to be part of this show. Mark Antigua is asking myself, what can you tell us about your team Burnley? Any new signings? Who is going to start in goal? I can tell you straight away that I don't have any information on who is going to start in goal, other than the fact that we've got three ex-England number 1 goalkeepers, so to speak, which is crazy. And I mean, we're asking a lot of money for Heaton. Heaton, as an example, we're asking 12 million. I think, to be honest with you, I think that the reason why we're asking that much money is because we can see that Aston Villa are willing to spend a lot of money on players, and I think that we're being really, really cheeky and just thinking, well, if you're going to spend X amount of money on that player, well, you know, Tom Heaton, excellent goalkeeper, spend that amount of money on us, what we think he's worth. But in answer to that simple question, I wouldn't have a clue, but it looks like probably Pope, if anybody. Any new signings? Obviously, we've got Jay Rodriguez and Eric Peters that have come in. There's also another player who's a complete unknown. I don't even know how to pronounce his name or whatever. But the big signings obviously are Jay Rodriguez and Eric Peters. And I think Eric Peters, personally for me, should be a first teamer. I think that I want to have someone in our team that has some Premier League experience. I'm still a bit dubious over Charlie Taylor. I want to have Eric Peters be that solid Premier League experienced player which you know can just do a job basically, and he was very, very good for Stoke. Jay Rodriguez, it's all a case of how Dyche sees him fitting into a 4-4-2, because that is the best formation we play. He ain't going to be on the wing, on the left or the right. So
Mm-hmm.
it's all down to the form of Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes, to be honest. But yeah, so FPL Pitch asking, Steve, are you confident in Abraham? Well, like I mentioned earlier on, the only reason I brought him in is because it's just for the sake of bringing him in, because I had 7 million spare, 7 million in the bank, and I thought, well, Abraham seems to be, in the opinion of a lot of Chelsea fans, the number one striker. What are your thoughts on Abraham being number one potentially, Aussie boy? And is he a good pick?
Well, yeah, well, I think if he becomes the number one, obviously, or how much is he? I'm not 100%
7 million.
sure. 7 million. Well, I think if he is nailed on and he picks up some form, like if he's just another Morata, then there's no point, because yeah, he'd be good at 7 million if he was nailed on. But I feel like you also need some good form, because we see with a lot of these like with Morata, they're coming in, he's meant to be good, and then if they just flop for their team, I feel like I need to see some form first. But yeah, he could definitely be an option. Chelsea striker, like first choice striker. Not even like he's not with the big boys, like Aubameyang and Kane and Aguero. He's not that expensive, even close compared to them. He's cheaper than Wilson. So I guess that team, because Chelsea's, I think, will be a good team this year. So it definitely could be an option if he picks up some form.
Yeah, good morning to Clement LaRue, Nasty Boys, Resi Dezel, Vince Chapman. I do sleep, I actually get plenty of sleep, but like I said yesterday, or earlier on, I had a rubbish night's sleep last night, and I woke up at about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just thought, you know what, to hell with it, I'm just going to do a stream when I get back from the gym, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I've got a couple of, an hour and a bit spare, and I just thought, why not? You guys clearly want it, and I thought, do you know what, it's a different time of the day. People like Aussie Boy at the moment, live on air, being a guest host, he's willing to do it, can join in, so why not? Cameron Rawcliffe, aka FPL Kid, do you think, I'll ask you this question, Aussie Boy, do you think Trent Alexander-Arnold is a better option than Robertson?
I think definitely, because last year we saw a little bit of rotation with him, but now I think, as I see, because I watch Liverpool quite a bit, as I'm a fan, I think he's completely nailed on. I can't see him going anywhere. He's one of the best right backs in the Premier League. He's amazing, and I think he's just a better option because he still had 185 when being rotated. That's still really good numbers for a defender. And then you just add, say he'll play every game, and then you add on his corner taking and his free kick taking. But the only concern is if there's lots of talks of us getting Coutinho back from Barcelona. So I feel like if Coutinho comes back, he could get back on the corners and set pieces. So that could be something to look out for if he comes.
You think that Coutinho could be coming back to Liverpool?
Yeah, well, I saw this thing. There's been quite a bit of talk about it. And the agent said he's about a 40% chance of coming to Liverpool and 60% chance of staying at Barcelona.
I can't see it myself, but
same. I don't want him the way he left. I don't want him back, but I feel like if he comes back, then it could be as a threat to Arnold. But I still have Arnold, and I'm confident with him. Anyway.
Mark Antigua again asking, do you think Zinchenko's a real risk with his percentage of ownership being only at 5%, Aussie boy?
Yeah, well, there's a reason why I went back to Laporte. I'm just a bit scared with Pep and his rotations. Like, I know all the stuff that he's in the... People are talking about how he's, like, doing the modelling for the kits and stuff. I don't really see that. I think I can see why people would think that's something to look at, but I don't like going risky at the start of the season. I know I just don't like going risky at all. I feel like maybe at the start of the season it's okay to take risks because you can just do that early wild card. But I feel like he's definitely a possibility to be in my team. I'd much rather a guy like Kyle Walker instead. But yeah, he's definitely a possibility, but I would want to make sure, like, I would want a comment from Pep saying that he's nailed on completely.
Yeah, I mean, talking of the Abraham move, or the Abraham pick, I mean, Vince Chapman making the... No, not Vince Chapman, sorry. Gotten making a very interesting point that if Abraham isn't number one, he's an easy switch to Giroud or Batshuayi. There's not much talk about Batshuayi.
That is true. It's very
again,
true.
it's the classic thing of, do you think that any Chelsea forward is actually worth having from the start of the season? Do you just think it is just quite literally a wait and see?
I think it's a wait and see. I can't see myself putting... The only Chelsea player I can see myself putting into start is Azpilicueta or maybe Emerson, but other than that, I can't see myself putting in anyone else. It's a wait and see. New manager. There are so many different strikers that they've called back from loan and stuff, and I can see why people are doing it, but I could not do that myself at all.
A lot of people...
It's a wait and see for me.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people in chat commenting, well, basically like yourself, congratulating on us on 1,000 subs. At the end of the day, it's down to you lot. You're the guys that have subscribed to us. We're just the ones that provide the content. If you like what you see, you hit that subscribe button, and we just keep providing it for you, because this is what we're here for. We're here to help you. Well, I say help you guys out. We're taking you on almost like a journey. So all this stuff now, you wait until next season when we start doing the Cash Mini League and start...
Yeah, well, I'm in it now, so...
That's right, yeah.
That's great.
And once you lot, when we start making that basically the main focus of the live streams themselves, this podcast is just going to go absolutely berserk. The whole Discord, live chat, everything. Even people like yourself, Ozzy, you could have the worst game week on the planet, and you may even refuse to come live on air because you don't want to express your feelings about why, I don't know, your triple captaincy completely failed in some random double game week in game week 26 or something. Do you know what I mean? Because
it's exciting it'll be really fun to be with this community and doing it.
It is going to be.
The Cash Mini League will be so fun. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say that what this I mean, Theo Athens there, thank you for joining the stream. Loving the Discord. I mean, again, Aussie boy, you're somebody that uses the Discord group a lot. Do you want to tell our viewers and listeners and anybody going to be watching back on the replay why you enjoy the Discord so much?
Pardon? Sorry, you cut out just for a second. What, did you say something about the podcast?
No, I was just saying about the Discord and why you keep coming back and why you enjoy it so much.
Oh, yeah. Well, for me, it's because I don't really have... My mates don't really play this game. So, like, they kind of don't... They're doing the NBA fantasy instead, and I've decided I much prefer the FPL, so I'm going to do that. So, I found a community where everyone is interested like me in this. And so I can talk to people whenever I want about decisions, dilemmas I have with my team. And it's amazing because I just keep coming back. It's just fun. I can talk to people. It's great. It's just a really good community. And everyone's so nice and welcoming. Like whenever someone new joins, we always give them a warm welcome. Happened to me too when I joined. It's great.
And it's thanks to people like FBL Booner. Good morning, Steve-O. Good morning, all. Steve-O's definitely going to get me the sack now. Just put a sneaky headphone in one ear. You can get invisible headphones now. You'll be able to put them in, so to speak. FPL Lad saying, wow, an 8 a.m. stream. Yeah, it's the most, probably the most impromptu stream I've ever done, to be honest with you, in the history of our channel. I know Jason's there. Good morning, Jason. I just want to say, actually, thank you to Jason for predominantly doing the live stream last night. I mean, it was a celebration of reaching 1,000 subscribers, but like I said, I didn't really want to speak that much last night because I'd been speaking for the equivalent of, say, 6.5, 7 hours across 2 days, and I get sick of my own voice. I'm fully aware of the irony in what I'm saying right now. But I just want to thank Jason for basically taking 2.5 hours out of his evening to celebrate the 1,000 subscribers and just basically do all the interviews and everything. It was absolutely fantastic. And thank you to everybody that joined us live last night. That was absolutely just brilliant. Someone from Australia, I'm assuming, and I think you may have chatted to him in the Discord, is FPL_Oz. What do you think of Sterling and Kevin De Bruyne in the same team? Ozzy, are you there?
Wait. Oh, sorry, cut out. Well, I guess I'm assuming you said, what do I think of De Bruyne and Sterling in the same team?
Yes.
Yeah, so, I think, I can definitely, it can't really go wrong. I don't think there's any issues with that. So I'd tick it off. I'd say it's good, because De Bruyne, I think you have lots of situations where De Bruyne might play it through to Sterling, he puts it away, or vice versa, or two, I think, pretty nailed on players in this Manchester City attack. So you can't really go wrong, because then it just highs your chance of getting Man City attacking returns each game week. So yeah, I'd definitely say it's good. I just find it hard to see fitting it with Salah as well, and I feel like Salah is essential for me, more essential than Sterling. So if that's if it's at the expense of Salah, maybe not, but I still think it's a great option to go with.
There's been some chat, funny enough, on our radio show, that the call-ins, whatever, that some of the people have watched the African Cup of Nations and were concerned that Salah looked a bit tired and not really on it. Does that concern you, or is it just the fact that different tournaments, the Premier League, he's back in his Liverpool team, he's the main man?
Yeah, I think he's the main man. He's back in the team. Maybe he's still on a high from the Champions League final. I don't know, but you can't really compare. You can't. Also, he's had a rest since then. It's a long rest. Yeah, he may start the season slow, because I think he did both of the past few seasons. But I can't look past him. He's been the best fantasy scorer for the past few years, and he had 2 seasons ago. That's 300 points. That's absolutely insane. That's ludicrous. And then having backing that up with a 250 point season after, I just can't look past him. Whatever, I don't care about the African Cup of Nations.
Yeah. Mustafa Mohammed is asking, is Vardy and Fraser over Perez and King worth the extra 3.5 million? In my opinion, yes it is. What about you, Ozzy?
Oh yeah, same. Definitely. Well, I have Vardy and Fraser, so... I
mean, you have Vardy, Fraser and Perez, so...
Yeah, well, I was always going to have that 6.5 midfielder, Perez, Tielemans, or Brooks, and I think Perez is the best option, because I can see him playing alongside Vardy or just in behind Vardy, so it'd be a really nice Leicester combo to have for me. That's what I really like.
We have I do recognise the name, to be fair. It's... apologises for probably butchering your name. There we are, FPL Buna. Nenith Shamuel. Long-time listener here, Steve-O, all the way from Sydney. So we seem to have quite a few people from your
it's quite,
your end of the world, so to speak, which is absolutely fantastic. There's an interesting question for you. Thank you, Jason Costa, just saying good morning and congratulations on the 1,000 subs. Thank you there. Yakir is asking, Sigurdsson seems to be starting to disappear from a lot of drafts. Why do you think that is? So, Ozzy, why do you think that is?
I think you've brought this up a bit, how you can't... He's not very explosive. Like, he's going to get you every couple of games, every few games. He's going to get you attacking returns. But people tend to like that, want to get that good start and then early wild card. So I feel like a player like Sigurdsson, you'd rather either spend up to De Bruyne if you're going to have a player like that, or you'd rather you'd rather sideways to Richarlison. I'd much rather go to Richarlison, just with his history. It's starting well, and yeah, he's just a good. I think he's a good option. Or just going down to Fraser. So I wouldn't. I remember at the start I was freaking out because everyone had Sigurdsson and I didn't have Sigurdsson, and then I feel like I don't need him anymore, and yeah, he's definitely a good option. Like, he's a great player. Yeah, don't get me wrong there, but I just think there are better options.
So we've got a regular contributor not only to the call-in show but also the Discord, especially FPL Little Saints. You are in the waiting room. We need to get you to unmute your mic, and then what we'll do is we'll get you live on air with myself and guest host Aussie Boy, and we'll hear what you have to say. So FPL Little Saints, if you unmute your mic, and away we go in a 3. FPL Little Saints, you are live on Elite FPL Call-In. Welcome to this impromptu morning stream, or whatever it is in Greece at the moment.
Good morning, and congratulations on 1,000 subs.
Thank you, my friend. How can we help you this morning? What time is it over in Cyprus? You said you were in
Cyprus. So it's only 2 hours in front. So it's
right.
1:45.
Is it sweltering heat?
Oh yeah. Well, the reason why I've been kind of absent lately is because I've been off work and I was kind of doing like a little mini holiday. So I'm burnt as a crisp and everything like that. So yeah.
So there's no I'm not suggesting you've come on here to have a rate my team or whatever, but how is your drafting coming along? Have you been getting more different ideas like myself regarding your game week 1 team and moving forward?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because that really is the reason why I wanted to come up, because I've changed my team where I had 5 at the back or 5 in the middle, 4 at the back, like 4-5-1. I've actually changed it because I can't remember who it was. I think it was the guy from Dortmund. I think he had
Burrow Rice.
He had a plan for game week 3 or 4. He said that changing something around.
Yeah, he basically what it was. I thought it was brilliant. I nearly swore again then. Basically, his plan was to only have in game week 1 to only have, I don't know, 1 Liverpool defender of Trent Alexander-Arnold or Robertson. It doesn't really matter. And he'd have Ake instead. But up front, he'd have Aubameyang. And then by game week 3, he'd take out Aubameyang and replace him with Vardy and upgrade Ake to one of Trent Alexander and Robertson. I thought that was a brilliant plan.
Yeah, I've kind of come up with something similar.
Right, okay.
So I've got my team ready for game week 1, and it doesn't completely change. It's with my 2 free transfers, which I will have in game week 3. It changes around. So I don't know if you want me to post it for you to
you carry on. It makes it more alive, so to speak, when you post the team up. So if you put it in the rate my team, it will automatically come up on my screen.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting, isn't it, Aussie Boy, hearing different strategies for people and what they're going to be doing regarding the first opening 4 game weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good because I've seen lots of different strategies for FPL, and it's good to hear other points of view, because if you just go in I feel like the problem with me in the past starts of the season, I've only been watching I've only been thinking for myself and say one YouTuber that I've watched. And so it's good to hear other opinions, because then you can figure out for yourself what you want to do. So.
Well, I've got Little Saints' team up on screen. The first, so just to explain, the one with Aubameyang and his captain. This is your game week 1 and 2 team.
Yep.
Okay, I'll come on to something in a minute, because there's something that's glaring that stands out. And I
know.
No. I think I know what you're going to say, and I'm not actually concerned about not having Salah for this particular game week. I wouldn't be concerned about that. It's the fact that you've got a particular new player in your team, in Haller.
I knew you were going to say that.
So up on screen at the moment, we'll get onto that in a second. Up on screen at the moment is your game week what you perceive to be your game week 1 and 2 team, and you think that this is the best team for that specific game week 1 and 2?
Well, as I was saying, I've tinkered around quite a lot, and the reason for this tinkering is ever since Haller's been introduced into the game. For me, he's one of the best strikers, link-up players, or all-round striker, let's say, for his age. So, for me, Real Madrid actually got the wrong player in Jovic.
All right, okay.
Obviously I'm an Arsenal fan. I was watching quite a lot of the Europa League last year, and obviously that strike partnership was lethal. But for me, Haller was actually the more, let's say, link-up player, the more deadlier, let's say. I think Jovic was just like the guy putting them away, let's say.
Yes,
but Haller was doing all the dirty work, plus 22 goals, plus 11 assists. So for me, he's a baller. He's got everything, and he will be the main man. He will be the main man now at West Ham. Even with Arnie gone, Chicharito changing his number, but bringing in another striker, that's like a kick in the So it's totally Haller all day long.
What are your
I love
Ozzy?
Haller.
Yeah, Ozzy. What are your thoughts on Haller?
Love it. I just love it. I like these risky moves that I don't really have the kahunas to, but I can definitely see it paying off. I might jump on the bandwagon if he scores against Man City.
Well,
I can see why you do it. He looks like he's a good player just from highlights as well, and those stats that you mentioned are just really good. So I think he might be like, people weren't hesitating to put Arnautovic in their team. So why wouldn't you hesitate on putting Haller in your team?
yeah, I mean, after game week 2, so on to game week 3, the plan is then, looking at it here, is to get rid of the Aubameyang and Fraser, but bring in Salah and I'm assuming Greenwood.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very interesting strategy. So,
and the reason being for that is that after doing that, I will still have, I think it's 1.5 in the bank after that.
wow.
I think I've actually put it. It's on the. Does it actually show it? I think.
What's that? Sorry, what the 1. No, not on the screen at the moment. No.
All right, that's well. I think it's 1.5 in the bank after that, so I can still do anything I want from there. Let's say. So, yeah.
Certainly, I mean, my direct instant reaction is, with that 1.5, upgrading Calvert-Lewin to maybe someone like, I was thinking Wilson, but he's 8 million, you'd be 0.5 short. But no, I think you've got a really nice plan there. The biggest question though is, Little Saints, is what is the likelihood though of you sticking to this strategy?
It's right up there, to be honest.
Okay.
As you might remember, previous times that we've spoken, after every tinker that I do, I keep reverting back to my original team.
Yes.
So it's either that team or this plan. That is a team for, my plan was to go as far as I can without actually using my wildcard early. So more or less the game week 8-ish, let's say, using it. But that's just a team kind of set, and whatever changes I need be, and I will have to do. But with this, the only downside for me is that I'm actually premeditating into transfers that I'm gonna be making. So if something goes pear-shaped, let's say, I don't know, let's say Sigurdsson gets injured or something, then the whole plan goes out the door, because the whole point is Aubameyang in game week 3, he's got Liverpool, and Fraser has got City.
Everybody, including myself, always starts the season with some form of plan, and I can guarantee you now it will go out the window once, for example, let's just say you stuck to this plan and you did it, and then Salah goes and scores a hat-trick versus Norwich. I can guarantee you now you will go into panic mode and you will have to get... Because remember, we all base these strategies on these players staying at the same price. Well, the first couple, like say 1 to 5 game weeks, the price changing is so volatile that you may miss out on this plan by 0.1 because Salah, he scored that hat-trick, everybody brings him in, he goes up to 13.3 and you're missing out by 0.3 of a million just to do this simple plan.
Well, the good thing about that is actually with this plan, I've still got
1.5 in the back. Yes.
Yeah, but the it's not for that plan. Let's say it's more of my gut says, as everyone else, is that Salah. I don't know. Everyone knows he's explosive. Everyone knows he can score 4 or 5 on his day. Same with Aguero. Same with Kane. But Sterling, I think he's more. Because I don't have other City coverage, let's say, apart from Zinchenko, which he won't be getting me the points as Van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold. So I could possibly get away with not having Salah, but I could make up with that with Aubameyang.
Yeah, because Aubameyang has got 2 very, very favourable fixtures, and he does like playing against the weaker teams. So I think that... I honestly think, I mean, I don't know about you, Aussie boy, I think there's a solid plan there, and I'd like to think that Jason here would actually stick with it.
Yeah, I really like it. I guess the point you brought up is if everyone goes through price changes, then it might all fall apart, but I feel like the security with the 1.5 mil in the bank, that does help it. I'm looking at, I don't know how you fit everyone in with 1.5 in the bank, but yeah, I really like the idea. Well, can I get your opinions? I've been tinkering just now. I'm thinking, should I do De Bruyne down to Richarlison, and Digne down to Coleman to get Vardy up to Kane?
Ooh, that's
I'm not sure.
I actually like
because
that.
I like it too, but it means I won't have any City attack, which is the problem.
Yeah, it's all down to your faith in what you think City are going to do versus West Ham as an example, and what Tottenham will do versus Aston Villa. Because in my opinion, I think that Man City are going to win their standard 3-4 goals versus West Ham, and I think I used to coin this term every year. I used to coin this term last season. I do it quite a lot, which is these fixtures. I think the players will cancel each other out, so I think that Kane and Sterling will get roughly the same points. It's just down to which one you have more faith in, really.
Well, I think that having Kane instead of Sterling, it basically means I can do Zinchenko up to Laporte or like a little 1 million upgrade. So I think it's worth it for me. But at the moment, I was a bit scared because I was listening to you, Steve-O, and you were talking about you need at least 2 premium players, and I looked at my team. I'm like, oh no, what am I gonna do? But I think that's probably my best way to get Kane in at the moment, is to do that move with De Bruyne and Digne, but because I can't really see getting my money elsewhere, because I don't want to get rid of Wilson down, and it's just hard, but I don't want to do it. It doesn't feel right, so I'll probably go back and...
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah?
Why Kane and not say Aubameyang? Because if you're bringing in Kane, obviously for the Aston Villa game, well, game week 2, they've got City. So what are you going to do there? You're going to leave him in and hopefully he'll do something against City?
Yeah, that's a good point.
This is what we're here for.
I haven't really looked at him. I gotta be honest here.
That's why I went with Aubameyang.
he scored 205 points last season. As you said, he tends to do well against the thing. So I actually might consider that. Yeah, Burnley at home, Newcastle away. Newcastle are going to be an absolute rabble of a team, so he could tear them up, and then Burnley at home should be a good fixture, and then maybe to trade him out, for Kane or maybe down to Vardy after those two fixtures could be good.
Well, you wouldn't
Actually, I
have
haven't thought of that.
You could
That's a good shout.
straight swap him with someone in the middle of the park, and you can either get in Salah or Sterling. So if they do blow up,
Well, I'm gonna start with Salah no matter what. He hasn't left my team, so.
then you could change it to Sterling, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I gotta say, that is a good shout. Yeah, and then go like De Bruyne up to Sterling, if I want to. Yeah, very good idea. Actually, I'm gonna definitely consider that.
Brilliant. Little Saints, anything else left to say before we let you go?
What I was going to say is, I don't know if you've heard about, because obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, so have they actually been confirmed, the two signings from yesterday?
I've heard...
for Saliba and Ceballos.
I've heard absolutely nothing. I'll quickly check, but to be honest with you, I've heard absolutely nothing on the Arsenal front whatsoever, other than that defender who you're going to be loaning back to St Etienne. So, unfortunately, I've just quickly got it up on my phone now, and nothing's come through at the time. Anybody in chat, if you can clarify if Arsenal have confirmed, but I've heard nothing, Jason, as it stands. So, according to this, just a quick one, Unai Emery will decide this week if Reece Nelson is going to go out on loan again. So, and
apparently Crystal Palace had turned down the 65 million plus Reece Nelson bid for Zaha. So,
yeah. Saying here that Kieran Tierney wants to sit down with Neil Lennon after Celtic rejected Arsenal's latest approach. So it looks like Tierney wants to join Arsenal. It's just a case of
we'll get him. Yeah, we'll get him for sure. I really do think. I think we're kind of waiting a bit because he's not actually fit at the moment. He's still in his rehab. But so unfortunately, the problematic area regarding Arsenal is actually the defence, and we're not getting a defender as it looks.
Yeah.
So I think plus these two players that we've got yesterday, let's say, because Ceballos is on a loan apparently. That means I think we're for sure getting Tierney, and it's either a winger, and it's out of the Zaha, Everton, Suarez, Fraser, or even Nicolas Pepe. So I think it's either anyone out of these four.
Yeah.
Well, we shall wait and see. Not long to go.
No, like you say, there's only 2 and a bit weeks left. So, in fact, this Friday there will be. There's not this Friday. Yeah, this Friday. It's 2 weeks and a day left until the opening of the Premier League. Which reminds me, everybody, if anybody wants to join in the Cash Mini League, if you go on our Discord, you'll be able to find out all details. The closing date for that Cash Mini League is the 8th of August. Little Saints, thank you so much for joining us. We will speak to you soon.
It was my pleasure, Steve-O.
No, my pleasure. Thank you. Cheers, dude.
Bye-bye.
Little Saints there. Andy, 1998 online. Here we go. Andy, 1998. I've seen you post your team on Rate My Team. Welcome to the Elite FPL call-in, Andy.
Hey.
Good morning, Andy.
How are you, Steve-O?
How's the weather in Ireland?
It's really, really hot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, the sleeping is a problem.
Is it causing you to be tinkering with your team even more?
Yeah. I said I wasn't going to tinker, but I'm thinking about going Salah-less.
Well, I know you've posted your team in the Discord. I'm just trying to... Oh, here we are.
Team.
Yes. So, right. Here we go. What I'll do is I'll bring it up for everybody to see. So the first team we will see is the one with Salah in. So the team, it's a bit small, so I don't think people will see it, but it doesn't matter. So the team with Salah, I'm not even going to mention the goalkeeper, but the defence is the template of Alexander-Arnold, Coleman, Van Dijk and Zinchenko. and the midfield of Sigurdsson, Sterling, Salah, Fraser, up front of sticking with Billy Sharp still and Wilson. So the team without Salah. This is the one that everybody's going to be wanting to look at here. So the team without Salah. This is the one that right. So you've highlighted the players that you get rid of. If it loads up, here we are. So basically, we're looking at Alisson. Oh wow, you're going with a triple Liverpool backline of Alisson in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Digne, Laporte, and basically instead of Salah, you're having Schneiderlin, but it looks like you're going with a 4-3-3 with the three midfielders of Sigurdsson, Sterling, Fraser, and up front Vardy, Billy Sharp, and Wilson.
Yeah.
Well, straight.
I think point. Oh, go on.
My instant reaction is that looks a lot better than this 4-3-3.
Yeah, I think points-wise, it could work out that I get more points, even though Salah might get like a good game week. I think by spreading it across the goalkeeper, the defence, and midfield and forward line, I think it's the right decision. But I haven't pulled the gun yet, so.
Ozzy, what are your... I don't know if you've got the team up in front of you, but what are your thoughts on this 4-3-3 formation that Andy's probably going to go with... Well, potentially going to go with without Salah, though?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a strong advocate as to go with Salah, but I can see if it helps your team, then yeah, I can't say no. It could be a good shout. I'm just struggling to make out the team on my screen, so let me just clarify. Is it Alisson, Trent? I can't see who that is. It's
Alisson, Trent, Digne, Laporte, Robertson, Sigurdsson, Sterling, Fraser, and then Wilson, Billy Sharp, and Vardy as the starting 11.
Yeah, I think it's a good team. You have, I'm just a bit worried now about not having two captaincy options. Like I think I've now just tinkered, and Aubameyang's now in my team at the moment. But, to be honest with you, I don't like not having those two premiums. I can see why, because I could be going with it, but I don't like no Salah. But it's a good team. I like the team. I think Billy Sharp's a little differential pick, could turn out pretty well for you. I think you want at least one of those in your team.
I think, like I mentioned to somebody yesterday, where they actually didn't even have Sterling or Salah. The key to what they had, though, was the players that they had were all key to their actual team. So in this case here, it's Sigurdsson is the main creator for Everton. Sterling. Yeah, I think potentially into a winner there, Andy. But again, I keep asking this question: what's the likelihood of you doing it, though?
It's at the moment it's probably 50-50. I mean, if you look at Robertson replacing Zinchenko, and then Robertson versus Salah, Robertson got 217 last season, and Salah got 259, and I save $5.5 million to spread across the rest of the team, and so that's the kind of logic to it.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I remember when you came on. I don't know, however long ago it was. It was only last week, probably yesterday. But you did come up with some wonderful statistics, which I listened to, and I was just like, yeah, this guy is doing his research and everything, and actually you've got a persuasive argument for doing what you're doing. But a lot of, I mean, I'm stating the obvious, I know, but a lot of statistics are based on the previous seasons. And I find with defenders, it really is. Obviously, Liverpool are a top 2 team, really, and you know that they're going to get a minimum of 16 clean sheets. Yeah. But with players like Salah and everything, with their explosive potential and stuff, it's that captaincy choice. But
yeah, it is. I understand the captaincy rotation.
But you've got Sterling
Salah and Sterling. Yeah, no, I know Sterling's fixtures are great for 10 game weeks. So, I mean, I could just captain Sterling. But I suppose it depends on form, really.
The only downside to Sterling, it's only a little downside, is that the potential of rotation, whereas Salah is pretty much guaranteed every single game.
Yeah. There is a small danger of rotation, but it's not the same maybe as Aubameyang, or Lacazette. I find those players are likely to be heavily rotated.
I mean, the only one that sticks out from that team, because it's such a differential, is Billy Sharp. He's 5.5, is that right?
6 million.
6 million. Have you
He's
thought?
really cheap. He's really cheap.
Have you thought about possibly taking him out the team, downgrading Wilson to King, upgrading Sharp to one of the Chelsea strikers, and maybe pumping that 0.5 into, say, a starting playing defender instead of Kelly?
I mean, yeah. Well, I really like Wilson. I think Wilson's gonna just fly out the door with goals. So.
Well, him and
I don't know. I'm kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Go on, Ozzy.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I was just thinking. With Aubameyang's rotation risk, and yeah, I like the point where I'd much rather spread out the money, because then I'm not really relying my point to few players. So I think I might end up reverting back to it as I always do, by changing it and looking at it, not liking it as much, and then going back. But yeah, I like I think it's good. Billy Sharp, I think, could be a good idea, but I like the shout from Steve-O about the Chelsea strikers. But
it's
thing
difficult
for
to pick
me
a Chelsea.
it's
difficult to pick a Chelsea striker.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I need to see that one of them's nailed on. But yeah, I like the team. It's a good team.
Just a couple of things. So, in answer to Little Saints' question about, I apologise regarding his name, Cabellos. Apparently his loan has been confirmed today to Arsenal. That's what Nennis saying. But regarding your specific team, Andy, we have a guy in chat, Matthew Stitt, regarding. So this is what he's saying. He's saying, specifically directed to your three-man Liverpool defence. This team is overly relying on Liverpool defence to be solid. Liverpool overperformed defensively last season compared to overlining statistics. He adds, keep in mind that because Liverpool's defence overperformed last season and that Robertson's returns is unusual than the norm. What are your you as a Liverpool fan and Andy, your thoughts as someone that has this specific team with three Liverpool assets in defence?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand his point, because obviously we don't. I mean, like previous expected assists for Robertson and Trent last year were around 6, and they got 13, 12 and 13, or 13 and 13. So I can understand where he's coming from, but at least for the first game week, I can see them doing really well in defence. And
as a Liverpool fan, Ozzy, your thoughts on Liverpool may not be as defensively sound this season?
Well, I think we'll be just as defensively sound, but we have shown through January last season that we can be unreliable. Teams can be. I just wouldn't put all my defensive faith into one team. That's why every single player in my defense is a different team. So I'd like to avoid that risk. That's why I could go double, but I wouldn't go triple. Just for me.
Andy, thank you for joining us live this morning.
No worries. Thanks to you.
Have a good day. Enjoy the sun. Take it easy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cheers, Andy.
Bye.
There's Andy, 1998 there, with a bit of a controversial, shall we say, team. FPL Boona is there live. We're going to get him on in a second. What we'll do, Boona, is I'll bring on the Statman. I wonder what that's all about, the Statman, eh? And we'll also bring you live on air as well, because I want to be heading off in a second, if I'm completely honest. But Statman, we'll get you live on air. Statman, you are live on the Elite FPL calling, my friend.
Hello.
Hello, Statman. You are live on the Elite FPL call-in. How are you?
Good, Steve-O. And yourself? Hello, Aussie boy.
Now, is this Kevin?
It is.
You've changed your name.
Changed my name. Yeah, to me FPL team name. It was just easier to distinguish between people in our personal Discord channel. You know, we just all made the names the FPL names. So that's why I'm going under a different alias now.
How hot it is? How hot is it where you are at the moment?
Oh, we're just coming out of winter, mate. So trust us, you've got it a lot warmer. It's the only time of the year where back home's warmer. So enjoy it while it lasts. That's all I can say. 'Cause for the other 9 months we're ahead of you. So bask in the glory.
I'm trying to look if you've got a team up, but what have you got anything to just to quickly say, or have you actually posted your team in the Rate My Team or anything, or any thoughts on the day?
I'll post it now, and then I've got a couple of issues or points that I wouldn't mind putting to you both, but you'll probably bring it up when you see my team.
We've got FPL Boona here as well. So if FPL Boona, are you there, mate?
I am, mate. How's it going?
I thought you were supposed to be working.
I am working.
So Statman, I mean, he's just now disappeared. I'm assuming he'll come back on in a second. But Statman posted up his team. Here it is now. And he had a few questions that he wanted to ask myself and Aussie. But we've also got you here as well. But up on the screen at the moment is Statman's team. And it's looking pretty solid. A 3-4-3. One player sticks out straight away like a sore thumb, and we'll all know who that is in a minute. So the back three of Digne, Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, Perez, Salah, Lucas Moura, De Bruyne, Wilson, Vardy, and here's the sore thumb, Wesley of Aston Villa. Straight away, your thoughts, Boona, on the Wesley pick?
Do you know what? He could be onto something. He's 6.0 and his fixtures after Spurs look really strong, so he could be having the last laugh. Who knows?
Statman, you're back with us. So what were all questions that you wanted to ask the three of us, really?
Have you had a look at the team there?
Yes. Yeah, we've got it up on
right.
screen.
Well, yeah. Well, before I had a tinker in the past few days, I was going with Target and Sterling, and I really didn't feel comfortable not having two at the back from Liverpool. So by downgrading Sterling to KDB, I could upgrade Target or any other 4.5 to Virgil van Dijk. So I was just wondering if you thought it was safer going Virgil and KDB, or is it better going with Sterling and Target or another 4.5, Dunk, etc. It's just I feel like KDB can match Sterling at least for the first 3-4 games, because we know Sterling doesn't like to play against the big boys. They've got City. They've got who do they play? They play Spurs. Sorry.
They've only got one big boy though in the first 6 games.
Yeah. But that second game though against Spurs, is it like Sterling doesn't ever perform against the top 6? I remember last season he blanked against everyone. So can KDB get ahead of him just in that game, whether it's a goal or a couple of assists, and Sterling blanks? I'm saving that money. I'm getting Virgil van Dijk at the back, which is just guaranteed points on the board. I just what do you think?
You're forgetting that Sterling scored a brace against us in the Champions League.
But don't get points for the Champions League though.
Regardless, I don't know. I think Sterling could quite easily score against Spurs personally, but I do think KDB is a great pick. But if I were to go for KDB, I'd want him in addition to Sterling, not instead of personally.
But KDB and Virgil van Dijk rather than Sterling and a 4.5's the dilemma I'm in. You know, like all the 4.5's, if I compare their overall totals to Van Dijk's, it's incomparable really, where I think Sterling and KDB You know,
I get that,
could be
yeah.
quite good.
Yeah, I agree. Because if you put it in that perspective, then you'd rather have KDB and Van Dijk. So
Well,
I do that too, and I also have De Bruyne instead of Sterling as an alternate
Okay.
option into the City attack and midfield. So I
Yeah.
like it.
I can't wait for Sterling to score his hat trick game week 1.
Stop it.
how come?
It's gonna happen. Whichever way I don't go is gonna be the person that goes off. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, the one name that sticks out on that team sheet, a bit like with Andy's with Billy Sharp, is this Wesley. You're putting faith into this brand new player into the Premier League, and not only that, but for a promoted team in Aston Villa.
Yeah, I've got a really good feeling about him. I've got a couple of Villa fans, mates that are big Villa fans. So I checked them first because obviously they would have seen more than the rest of it. And then I started looking through his highlight reel, and he's just an absolute tank. You know, he's like an old school. I think he's built for the Premier League. He's 6'4". He's 95 kilo. He's bigger. He's bigger and stronger than Van Dijk, for example. He gets a head on the
Really?
ball. Yeah, man, he's a beast. Like, he can hit a shot from range. Loves the tap-ins. He's just a really old... Like, Newcastle were chasing him, and the fans were in uproar that Mike Ashley said we couldn't compete financially with that fee.
Well,
opposed to Villa. So, that, you know, Newcastle fans were gutted we didn't get him, and I wanted to know why. And just watching his 20 goals or what it was from last season... just the type of goals he scores, you know, I can really see him doing some damage. And Villa's fixtures, everyone is raving about Everton's fixtures and City and Liverpool. Villa's are as good, really, as good. And I fancy them to be, like, people acting as if they're some nobodies coming up. Like, we've got to remember, Villa won the Premier League. You know, I know it's many years ago, but they're a team with history and you know what I mean? I can remember them being one of the better teams in the Premier League for many years, so I don't think they're going to head straight back down. Do you know what I mean? I think they could do all right, and with them opening fixtures, I just fancy this dude. You know what I mean? He's just an old school number 9, which we love in Newcastle. He's not a slouch. He's got a bit of pace to him. I just think if you look at his goal highlight reel, you might see what I'm banking on. But it's the only punt in the starting 11, so
those fixtures are amazing.
Would you
like, if you take out those Arsenal and Tottenham games, they're absolutely incredible.
The rest, exactly.
Yeah, they are really good fixtures.
So I mean, would you take Wesley of your official striker that you have actually signed in what's his name, Joe Linton?
Oh yeah.
For 40 million. I mean. What are your thoughts on this signing?
I just seen it in the past couple hours after getting back from work. The memes are getting sent around. You know, like Rafa didn't get backed at all, and that was probably one of the stumbling blocks to why he walked. You know, not getting backed, and then he goes and lets Steve Bruce spend 40 million on this bloke who, personally, I don't know much about. So
well,
I can't offer.
I always do the most basic research when it comes to new players, and when I read that he scored 11 goals in 35 appearances for Hoffenheim, I'm thinking, okay, let's find out where Hoffenheim ended up in the Bundesliga. Well, they ended up, I saw, below Frankfurt, who were the team which, of course, had Haller, and Haller scored, you know, the whatever amount of goals it was for Frankfurt. It was 15 goals and 9 assists in the Bundesliga. And I just see that and I think, well, if this Joe Linton is on a par with this Haller or whatever, not for me. Not for me. I think that it's 40 million waste of money, personally.
Villa have just signed this new winger as well, literally just been confirmed. It's an Egyptian winger called Trezeguet. For anyone interested, I'll put a highlights reel into the live chat. He looks quite good, and you know, could benefit Wesley as we speak about him.
Oh really? Oh yeah, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, I've just put it in the live chat for anyone interested.
So just looking here, Hoffenheim actually finished 9th, which was actually 2 places below Frankfurt. They scored 70 goals. And I'm thinking, well, for a team that scored 70 goals and he only got 11, to put in perspective, the teams around them, so Dusseldorf scored 49, Werder Bremen scored 58, Frankfurt only scored 60. I mean, to be fair, this Hoffenheim scored pretty much. They are the 3rd highest scorers in the Bundesliga last season, and yet this new Newcastle striker only got 11. Now, admittedly, that doesn't take into account substitute appearances or anything like this. But I'm a bit concerned with that 40 million. Not that I specifically have any association with Newcastle whatsoever, but...
Nah, but to be honest, Devo, for all Ashley's bad points, the scouting team at Newcastle for years now has been incredible. Do you know what I mean? They've made some mess up, but if you look at the players we've brought in and who've been picked up for big fees, that's the product of the scouting setup. So in that sense, I wouldn't, like, you look at Perez, bought for 1.5 million from Alicante or somewhere that the English go on holiday in Spain. He was playing like really low level, so if anything, I'd edge to say he's not going to be bad.
Well, it looks like you got It looks like you got the wrong player, because looking at the statistics here, basically for Hoffenheim, a player called Belfodil, he only played 20 times and made 8 substitute appearances, and he scored 16 goals and got 3 assists. A player called Kramaric, he got 17 goals and 4 assists and 28 appearances and 2 subs. Whereas this Joel Linton, 25. He only in the Bundesliga, he only actually scored 7 goals and got 5 assists. So, admittedly, he's only 22, but unfortunately, again, from a fantasy football perspective, it's just a complete no-go. But going back full circle, I'm assuming you'd rather take the Brazilian Wesley rather than the Brazilian that you've actually signed.
Until I have a look at him, I can't see it, but from what I can find on YouTube of that Wesley, like, he does look potentially, hopefully, fingers crossed, could go on a bit of a Jimenez run, especially with them fixtures. But one other thing, Steve, you can see I've got more in my midfield, which was just, it was a bit of a thing. I didn't gain as any funds, I didn't upgrade anyone from it, but the thinking was, there's a lot of players around that 7 to 8 million range, Fraser, Tillman, Madison, Siggy, Ritchie, Mura, etc. And if I kind of want to have a look at all of them on game week 1, and the one in that range that I really fancy to do the business, because he's got Son coming back and got
I know where you're going.
For his place. You know what I mean? Like, maybe Mura could just be on fire for that first game. I know they've got City in the next one, but he's got a chance to make a stake.
Booner's in chat. He's the Tottenham fan. Take it away, Booner, regarding that simple tactic of having Lucas Moura for just, say, 1 game week and then swapping out to, say, Fraser, Tielemans or Madison or whoever.
Yeah, because I've got 0.5 in the bank now. I'll just say I've got 0.5, so I can go to Siggy, I can go to Ritchie, I can go to anyone up to 8 million. But what do you think about Moura for game week 1?
100%. He's in my team as well. In fact, I made a draft last night which included Moura and Kane, Fraser, King, Sterling, Salah. But my defense was really weak. But I think Moura is a good option to start with. I'd want to look at a way where I could upgrade Moura to Son though, because I do think even if Moura starts, like a house on fire, I still think, Poch showed it in the Champions League final last year. He's got no mercy, so he will drop him for Son. I'm confident of that.
What's Son's price? I haven't even looked at him.
9.5.
9.5. So there's 9.5, 2 million more than Moura, which is quite a bit of money.
Son when he comes back. he just looks so deadly whenever he has the ball. Like in the Champions League final, the Liverpool Spurs one, when I was watching it, he just Son just looked deadly. I was just nervous whenever he got on the ball. So I think just he'll just. I can't see Mora holding his place in the team, but as an early option, he's very good. He'll definitely play those first 2 game weeks, so I like it, and we've seen what he can do. So I think he's a good option, and then you just trade him out after.
I'm just thinking whether it's worth having 2 mil in the bank so that you can do Mora to Son. I know it's a bit crazy, but it could be an option if you can, manufacture a nice team.
What I'm thinking is if Son starts firing, then I'm probably just going to end up going De Bruyne to Son, because I really like Son as a player. So yeah.
Awesome.
Sure.
Kevin, thank you for joining us on this very early morning stream.
And congratulations on hitting 1K.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's down to people like yourself
Keep going hard, lad.
that keep coming back. Thank you, dude.
No sweat, lads. Cheers.
Cheers.
See ya.
There we are. Statman there, Kevin there, coming live on there. I think I'm gonna call it a wrap. FPL Boona, do you have any final thoughts before I go offline?
Yeah, you feeling okay? It's only been an hour.
I actually, I've been going for about an hour and a half. So it's actually, for most streamers, it's actually quite a long one. But for me, it's very, very short. But I just want to get out, basically. I want to go to your, my favourite restaurant, McDonald's. I just want to get down there and get 3/4 pounders and chips. Quite simple, really.
So you're going to come back at stream at 10:30, yeah?
No chance.
Why don't you just get it delivered on Uber Eats, mate? Have it online whilst you're streaming.
I need to get out. Even though I've already been out, I want to get back out. I want to get out in that sun.
Yeah. Well,
no, it's absolutely fine. But
there's been some rumours that I've seen apparently with the people like drinking from the Uber Eats or something. But I don't know. But yeah.
All right, Steve.
Cheers, dude. No, so yeah, as ever. Thank you for joining in, Boona. Really, really appreciate it.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers, dude. Aussie boy, have you got any final thoughts
Yes.
before I call it a night or a morning?
Yeah. Stay calm and lock in Salah.
There we are. Final thoughts there from Aussie. Can I just
Bring him in.
Can I just say thank you for joining me as a guest host? Really, really appreciate that. Thank you.
Nah, thanks for having me, man. It's really fun to do these things.
Cheers,
I
dude.
really enjoy it.
Cheers, dude.
Bye.
Until next time, take it easy. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Steve-O. Congrats on 1K.
Cheers,
Bye.
dude. There we are. There was Aussie boy there. As he said, stick with Salah, get him in your team and everything. Right, everybody. What can I say? That was absolutely fantastic. The most impromptu stream I've done for quite a while. Can only thank you guys enough, as I always do, for joining in and just sitting with me and just enjoying talking all things FPL. Thank you to all the callers that called in. Went all really well. Like I just said, thank you to Aussie Boy for being the guest host. Thank you for FPL Boona for taking his time off work to quickly join in the stream and everything. Yes, again, come out of that with lots more ideas, lots more thinking, lots more thought processes regarding all things game week 1, game week 2 and 3, what strategies you're going to be doing and everything. So yeah, I'm going to call it a morning there. Just do the usual admin really. If you want to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, it's @EliteFPL. If you are new to the stream and you've been watching regular content of ours, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button, because like this morning, if you hadn't have hit that notification button, you would not know that I was doing this impromptu stream at the moment. Other than that, hit that like button. It really, really does show your support that you've enjoyed the stream and everything. That's the important thing. And again, just a quick final one. Thank you for helping us get to that 1,000 subscription mark. Absolutely phenomenal. We actually, since hitting the 1,000, we're growing even more quicker, to be honest with you. So yes, thank you for this morning stream. And will I be back on tomorrow evening or tomorrow morning? Who knows? Keep you posted on Twitter and Discord. See you all soon, guys, and take it easy.